What if I told you there is a way to make anyone remember you in just 60 seconds? Not with a flashy outfit, not with a rehearsed elevator pitch that sounds like a LinkedIn bio, not with a business card they'll throw in a drawer and forget by next day. Just 60 seconds, a single minute, and you walk away from every room, every meeting, every party unforgettable. Sounds too good to be true? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to have a technique so powerful, so simple that the next time you walk into a room full of strangers, you will own it. Welcome to the channel Elevate with Shachi. Hi, I am Shachi, writer, entrepreneur, life coach, and your dear friend. We have all heard it. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. But here's what nobody tells you. First impressions aren't just about how you look. They are about how you make people feel in the first 60 seconds of meeting you. Think about it. You have met hundreds, maybe thousands of people in your lifetime. How many of them do you actually remember? Maybe a handful, maybe a dozen? Why them? What made those people stick? It wasn't always the most successful person in the room. It wasn't always the best dressed. It was the person who said something that stopped your brain mid-scroll. The person who made you feel something. The person who had a story and knew how to tell it fast. That's exactly what you're going to build today. I call it the 1 minute introduction technique, and it's a single most powerful communication skill you can develop for your personal and professional life. Are you excited to learn that 1 minute introduction technique? If yes, write 1 minute in the comment box below. Let's learn the single most powerful communication skill that you can develop for your personal and professional life. Let me ask you something honestly. When someone asks you, so what do? What is your reply? If you're like most people, you say something like, I'm a marketing manager, I work in finance, I'm a teacher, I'm a homemaker, and then silence, a polite nod, a sip of drink, and within 48 hours, they've forgotten your name entirely. Here's the brutal truth. We live in the most distracted era in human history. The average person processes over 74 gigabytes of information every single day. That's equivalent of watching 16 movies back to back every day. In that ocean of noise, your introduction is a tiny wave. And if it sounds like everyone else, it disappears instantly. Networking events, job interviews, first dates, dinner parties, meetings, these are the moments that can change the trajectory of life. A single conversation with the right person can open a door that no resume could ever. But most people walk into those moments completely unprepared. They wing it, they ramble, they undersell themselves. Or worse, they give a forgettable robotic pitch that sounds like they're reading off their own Wikipedia page. Result? You're forgotten before you even finish your handshake. Not anymore, because I have it. The technique breaking down the 1 minute introduction. Alright, let's get into it. The 1 minute introduction technique that has 4 components. Remember them as the letters H.A.S.K, H.A.S.K, the H.A.S.K formula. The 1 minute introduction that makes people remember you. Most people introduce themselves the wrong way. They say, hi, I'm John, I'm an accountant. Or hi, I'm Sarah, I work in marketing. There is nothing wrong with these introductions. The problem is they are forgettable. If you want people to remember you, use this H.A.S.K formula. Let us understand what H.A.S.K stands for. H, hook. A, anecdote. S, spa. K, kicker. Let's break it down. H stands for the hook, the first 5 seconds. These first few seconds matter the most. Your opening line should grab attention and create curiosity. Instead of telling people what you are, tell them what you do for others. For example, in a generic way, I say, "Hi, I'm Mike, I'm a fitness coach." If I have to make it better, I would say, "Hi, I'm Mike. I help busy professionals get into shape without spending hours in the gym." Can you hear the difference? The first introduction gives a job title. The second introduction gives a result. One ends the conversation, the other makes people want to know more. Another example, instead of "I'm a financial advisor," try "I help families stop worrying about money and start building real financial freedom." Now people are curious. They want to hear the story behind it. That's what a great hook does. It opens the door to a conversation. Let me talk about a normal housewife, the easiest introduction. If a housewife says, "I'm the person who makes sure that my family comes to a peaceful and lovable home," see the difference? It changes her role and it creates curiosity. Let's come to the anecdote, the 20-second story. After your 5-second hook, share a short personal story, not a whole life story, just a quick moment that explains why you do what you do. Because people might forget facts, but they remember stories. Your story should answer one simple question: why does this matter to you? For example, if you say, "I help busy professionals get in shape without spending hours in the gym," you add, "A few years ago, I was working 12 hours a day and gained over 30 pounds. I thought I didn't have time to get healthy. Once I figured out a simpler approach, everything changed." That's it. Short, personal, real. Now people understand the person behind the profession. Let me share the other example. I help families build financial freedom. When I was growing up, I watched my parents struggle with debt. That experience inspired me to learn everything I could about money. So I help others avoid the same stress. See how much memorable that is. Now let's come to the housewife story. 5 years ago, when I had my baby, when I held him in my arms for the first time, I decided my 5 years of life are dedicated to him, hence the housewife. Stories create emotional connection, and emotional connection creates memory. Now comes S, the spark, your unique angle. Now it's time to answer a powerful question. What makes you different? There are thousands of people who do what you do. Why should someone remember you? Your spark is the unique belief, the skill, experience, or philosophy that sets you apart. Most fitness coaches focus on strict diets, but your spark might be, "I believe people shouldn't have to give up their favorite foods to get healthy." That's different. That's memorable. Another example here would be a leadership coach might say, "I don't teach people how to manage teams. I teach them how to inspire people." Or a business consultant might say, "I believe small improvements done consistently beat massive changes every time." That's the kind of statement people remember. In fact, if someone later tells their friend about you, they will often repeat your spark. They will say, "You should meet Sarah. She has this real interesting belief about leadership." That's when you know your introduction is working. Here comes the kicker, the memorable close. I'd say this is the highlight of conversation. Most people finish talking and wait awkwardly for the other person to respond. Stop doing that. End with the question that invites the other person into the conversation. The goal isn't to impress people. The goal is to connect with them. For example, "What about you? What's your biggest health challenge right now?" Or, "What inspired you to get into your field?" Or, "What's a project that you're excited about these days?" Notice what happens. The conversation is immediately transferred into the former person. It becomes more engaging. And honestly, people love talking about themselves. They love talking about things that matter to them. And when you show genuine interest, they naturally like you more. The kicker transforms the introduction from a speech into a conversation. Okay, let me show you exactly how this works in real life. Imagine we are at a networking event. Someone walks up to me and says, "Hey, so what do you do?" And instead of saying, "I run a YouTube motivation channel," here's what I say: "I help people from being the most forgettable person in the room to the one everyone's still talking about on their drive home." Honestly, it started because of the most embarrassing networking event of my life. I spent 2 hours meeting people, handed out my 40 business cards, and got zero callbacks, not even single. That failure sent me down a rabbit hole of studying human psychology, communication, and storytelling. And what I discovered completely changed how I connect with people. Now I teach those same techniques. And the wildest part, most of it takes less than 60 seconds to apply. So the story is complete. Now I'll use a kicker. But hey, I'm curious. What about you? What's the best introduction you have ever given someone? Did you feel that? There was a hook, forgettable to unforgettable. There was an anecdote, the embarrassing networking fail. There was a spark, the psychology and storytelling angle. And there was a kicker, a question that puts the spotlight on them. That's the 1 minute introduction. Simple, structured, unstoppable. And here's the aha moment. The other person didn't just hear about me, they felt something: curiosity, maybe a little recognition. I have been that forgettable person too. And that emotional connection, that's what memory is made of. Let's bring it home. The 1 minute introduction technique is H.A.S.K. Hook, lead with the transformation you create, not your job title. Anecdote, drop a short, specific story that reveals your why. Spark, share the unique angle that makes you you. Then the kicker, close with the question that makes them the star. Here's the truth: this technique only works if you practice it. Not in front of a mirror once. Practice it in real conversation while you're talking with others. Refine it, personalize it, make it sound like the most natural thing you have ever said. Because eventually it will be. You're not just a job title. You're not just a name on a business card. You're a story, a living, breathing, fascinating human being with experiences, passions, and perspectives that nobody else has. All you have to do is learn to tell that story fast, powerfully, and memorably. The rooms you walk into will never feel the same again. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your own 1 minute introduction in the comments below using the H.A.S.K framework. I read each and every single one and might even feature the best one in an upcoming video. If this video gave you even one idea how you can use it, hit that subscribe button, because every week I'm dropping new videos on communication, confidence, and becoming the most magnetic version of yourself. And if you want to go even deeper, watch this video right here on building unshakable confidence. Because the best introduction in the world means nothing if you don't have the confidence to deliver it. Hit the thumbs up icon if you enjoyed watching this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Now go make them remember you. Goodbye. God bless.